The underdog did it. James Talarico, a state representative from Austin that almost nobody outside Texas had heard of a year ago, just defeated one of the most recognizable Democrats in America. He beat Jasmine Crockett, 53-46. And standing in front of his supporters last night, Talarico said 5 words that tell you everything. "We are shocking the nation." In Texas, in a primary where she led in 3 of 4 polls. But the night didn't end cleanly. Dallas County, Crockett's biggest stronghold, erupted in voting chaos. A judge extended hours. The Texas Supreme Court blocked it. Ballots are now in legal limbo. And Republicans launched their first attack before the race was even officially called. This is Under Scrutiny. Here's everything that happened, and what it means for America. Here's why this isn't just a Texas story. Democrats are desperate. After 2024, after losing the White House, after losing ground with Black and Hispanic voters, the party is searching, genuinely searching, for an identity, for a fighter, for a path forward. Texas is a state Republicans won by 14 points in 2024. It hasn't sent a Democrat to the U.S. Senate since 1988. And this wasn't a quite little primary. Over $125 million was spent across the Texas Senate contests, making it the most expensive primary season in the entire country. This race had the attention, it had the money, and tonight it delivered a result nobody fully predicted. But 2026 is different. The Republican primary is a 3-way civil war. John Cornyn and Ken Paxton are headed to a May runoff. Trump's approval is sliding nationally, and tonight, Texas Democrats made a choice. They chose the careful strategist over the viral fighter. They chose coalition building over confrontation. They chose James Talarico. And that decision, that specific decision, just sent a message to every Democrat in America about what this party thinks it takes to win. If you follow this channel, you know we don't do spin. We do documents, we do facts, we do context. If that's what you're here for, subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video. We track these stories all the way. Let's go back to September 2025. James Talarico, a state representative from Austin, known for leaning on his Christian faith in a party that rarely does, jumps into the Texas Senate race. He raises over $1 million in 12 hours. The party is excited. The momentum is real. Then comes December. Jasmine Crockett, U.S. Congresswoman from Dallas, viral at congressional hearings, one of the most recognizable Democratic faces in the country, announces she's running too. The New Yorker reported she'd actually called Talarico and asked if he'd step aside and run for governor instead. He said no. That decision turned a straightforward primary into a national event, and it set up tonight's result, a result that nobody fully predicted. From day one, this primary became a referendum on 2 very different theories of how Democrats win. Crockett's theory: turn out massive numbers of Black and brown voters who sat out recent elections. According to Hit Strategy's polling, 700,000 registered Black Texans did not vote in 2024. She believed that was the path. Talarico's theory: reach across, appeal to independents, build a coalition that goes beyond the base. He emphasized his Christian faith, rare for a Democrat, specifically to court voters the party has been losing. The polling told 2 stories. A University of Texas survey gave Crockett a 12-point lead. A UT Houston poll put her up 8. But then, the Emerson College poll flipped the script entirely, showing Talarico ahead 47-38. Nobody could call this race. And then, it escalated. February 16th, first day of early voting in Texas. James Talarico is booked on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. But when Monday night's broadcast airs, he's not on it. Instead, Colbert tells his audience something stunning. CBS lawyers told him, in his own words, in no uncertain terms, that he could not have Talarico on the broadcast. Colbert said he wasn't even allowed to show a photo of Talarico on screen. He directed viewers to YouTube, where the full interview was posted. That interview hit 5 million views in under 48 hours. It eventually surpassed 7 million. Here's what is confirmed. CBS issued a statement saying Colbert was not prohibited from airing the interview. The network said its lawyers provided guidance about the FCC's equal time rule and gave the show options to comply, which the show declined. Here's what was alleged. Talarico called it censorship. His campaign said Trump's administration was trying to silence critics. He raised $2.5 million in the 24 hours that followed, his largest single fundraising period of the entire campaign. Here's how the other side responded. Crockett called the timing kind of convenient, noting it happened on day one of early voting. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr later said CBS could have run the interview and suggested Talarico knew exactly what he was doing. But here's where it gets complicated. Looking at tonight's result, that controversy didn't hurt Talarico. It launched him. $2.5 million in 24 hours, 7 million YouTube views, national name recognition overnight. Whether it was calculated or genuine, it worked. That's when the second controversy hit. A pro-Talarico super PAC called Lone Star Rising released an online ad warning Democratic voters that Republicans were boosting Crockett, essentially arguing she was the weaker general election candidate. Crockett looked at those ads and called them racist. Her specific allegation, the ad darkened her skin tone. She called the tactic straight-up racist. Here's what is confirmed. The ad was released by a pro-Talarico group. Crockett publicly accused them of image manipulation. Here's what was alleged. That the darkening was intentional, a racially coded attempt to make her appear less electable to moderate voters. Here's how the other side responded. Talarico's camp did not directly address the skin tone allegation. The ad continued running. And yet, tonight, Talarico won, which raises an uncomfortable question that Democrats will be arguing about for weeks. Did those ads work? Did the strategy work? Or did Talarico win despite the controversy, on the strength of his message alone? That question has no clean answer tonight. And then the night got even more complicated. Dallas County, Jasmine Crockett's home turf, her strongest base of support, descended into voting chaos. New precinct boundary rules confused voters. Nearly 200 people showed up at the wrong polling locations in Oak Lawn. Voters were turned away. Lines collapsed. Both campaigns, Crockett and Talarico, called on Dallas County to extend voting hours. A Dallas County judge agreed. She ordered polls to stay open 2 extra hours. And then, the Texas Supreme Court stepped in. The court blocked the extension. It ordered that any ballots cast by Democrats between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. be set aside, separated and not counted pending a legal review. And here's the detail that almost nobody is talking about. The voting chaos wasn't only in Dallas County, Crockett's stronghold. It also hit Williamson County, Talarico's own home turf. 2 polling locations there had the exact same confusion. Voters turned away, lines collapsing. This wasn't a one-county problem. This was a statewide failure on the night of the most important Democratic primary in a generation. The Texas Democratic Party called what happened in Dallas, and I'm quoting directly here, not an accident. That's voter suppression. Here's what is confirmed. Voting access broke down in a heavily Democratic county. A judge extended hours. The state Supreme Court blocked it. Here's what is not yet confirmed. Whether those set-aside ballots would have changed the outcome. With Talarico winning 53-46, the margin may be too wide to be affected. But the legal fight isn't over. And the questions about what happened in Dallas County will not go away quietly. Talarico's victory speech was barely finished before Republicans made their move. The National Republican Senatorial Committee launched its first attack within hours. Their line? James Talarico is too radical for Texas. Their ammunition? A past comment by Talarico that, quote, God is non-binary. That's the attack. That's the opening Republican salvo. And it tells you exactly how they plan to run this race. They will tie Talarico's Christian progressive identity into knots. They will take his own faith-based language and use it against him with conservative Texas voters. Meanwhile, John Cornyn and Ken Paxton are headed to a May 26th runoff on the Republican side. Talarico won't even know his opponent until late May. That gives him time to build, to fundraise, to define himself before Republicans define him. But it also means the general election campaign, the real fight, hasn't even started yet. So what does tonight actually mean? It means the Democratic Party, at least in Texas, made a bet. They bet that a Christian progressive man from Austin can reach voters that Jasmine Crockett couldn't. They bet that coalition building beats base mobilization in a state where Democrats have lost for nearly 4 decades. They bet on James Talarico, and now he has to deliver. He faces either John Cornyn, a 22-year Senate incumbent with $20 million in the bank, or Ken Paxton, one of the most controversial Republican politicians in America, who survived impeachment and a corruption scandal and kept winning anyway. Neither path is easy. Both carry massive risk. But here's what changed tonight. Talarico raised $2.5 million in a single day during the Colbert controversy. He has national name recognition. He has a compelling story. And he's running in a cycle where Republican chaos, in Texas and in Washington, is giving Democrats an opening they haven't had in a generation. Is it enough? That is the question that runs from tonight all the way to November. This channel exists for exactly these moments. Documented. Fact first. No spin. If you want to stay ahead of this story as it develops, subscribe right now, share this video, and drop your prediction in the comments below. Can Talarico actually flip a Texas Senate seat? Tell us what you think. Here's what is confirmed tonight. James Talarico won the Texas Democratic Senate primary, 53-46. He defeated Jasmine Crockett, overcame a CBS censorship controversy, survived a racist ad scandal, and watched Dallas County descend into voting chaos that is now headed to court. He did all of that, and he still won. The Republican response was instant. The general election attack is already written, and his opponent, Cornyn or Paxton, will be decided in a May runoff. But the central question that ran through every single minute of this primary is still open. Can a Christian progressive Democrat in a state Republicans have dominated for nearly 40 years actually win a U.S. Senate seat in 2026? The answer comes in November. We are tracking this story all the way. This is Under Scrutiny. Stay with us.